What is your biggest mistake in your investing journey? Mistakes are common in investing, but some can be easily avoided if you recognize them. Hey there, my name is Ken. In this video, you'll learn biggest mistakes people make when investing. We're gonna review some top mistakes that negatively affect investments and break down how to avoid them. Let's go straight to the topic and review 8 common mistakes one by one. Number 1 mistake is not understanding the investment. One of the world's most successful investors, Warren Buffett, cautions against investing in companies, business models of which you don't understand. The best way to avoid this is to build a diversified portfolio of an exchange-traded funds or mutual funds. If you do invest in individual stocks, make sure you thoroughly understand each company's business those stocks represent before you invest. Mistake number 2 is falling in love with company. Too often when we see a company that we have invested in do well, it's very easy to fall in love with it and forget that we bought this stock as an investment. Always remember, you bought this stock to make money. If any of the fundamentals that prompted you to buy into the company change, consider selling the stock. Third mistake is lack of patience. A slow and steady approach to portfolio growth will yield greater returns in the long run. Expecting a portfolio to do something other than what it is designed to do is a definite recipe for disaster. This means you need to keep your expectations realistic with regard to the timeline for portfolio growth and returns. Too much investment turnover is another mistake people make when investing. Turnover or jumping in and out of position is definite return killer. Unless you have zero commission rates, transaction costs can eat you alive. Not to mention the short-term tax rates and the opportunity cost of missing out some long-term gains of other sensible investments. Next common mistake is not liking this video and not subscribing to this channel. So avoid it by trading the like button and subscribing to the channel for more useful content. You can also buy me a coffee, the link is down in the description. Okay, jokes aside, here's the next common mistake. Well, likes and subscribe anyway. Attempting to time the market. Trying to time the market also kills returns. Successfully timing the market is extremely difficult. Even some institutional investors fail to do it successfully. Various studies showed that most of a portfolio's return can be explained by the asset allocation decisions you make, not by timing or even security selection. Another common mistake is waiting to get even. Getting even is just another way to ensure you lose any profit you could have accumulated. It means that you are waiting to sell a loser stock until it gets back to its original cost basis. Behavioral finance calls it cognitive error. By failing to realize a loss, investors are actually losing in 2 ways. First, they avoid selling a loser stock, which may continue to slide until it's worthless. And second, there's the opportunity cost of better use of those investment dollars. Next mistake is about failing to diversify. While professional investors may be able to generate alpha by investing in a few concentrated positions, retail investors should not try to do this. It is wiser to stick to the principle of diversification. In building an ETF and mutual fund portfolio, it's important to allocate exposure to all major spaces. In building an individual stock portfolio, include all major sectors. As a general rule of thumb, do not allocate more than 5 to 10% into one investment. Number 8, and probably the most important one, is letting your emotions rule. Perhaps the number 1 killer of investment returns is emotions. The axiom that fear and greed rule the market is true. Investors should not let fear or greed control their decisions. Instead, they should focus on the bigger picture. Stock market returns may deviate over a short time frame, but over the long term, historical returns for large cap stocks can average 10%. And over a long time horizon, a portfolio's returns should not deviate much from those averages. In fact, patient investors may benefit from the irrational decisions of other investors. Here are some other ways to avoid those common mistakes and keep a portfolio on track. First, develop a plan of action. Proactively determine where you are in the investment life cycle, what your goals are, and how much do you need to invest to get there. Also, remember why you are investing your money, and you'll be inspired to save more money and may find it easier to determine the right allocation for your investments. Temper your expectations to historical market returns. Do not expect your portfolio to make you rich overnight. A consistent, long-term investment strategy over time is what's gonna build wealth. On the next step, put your plan on automatic. As your income grows, you may want to add more. Monitor your investments. At the end of every year, review your investments and their performance. Determine whether your equity to fixed income ratio should stay the same or change based on where you are in your life. Also, allocate some fun money. We all get tempted by the need to spend some money. It's the nature of human conditions, so don't fight with it but go with it. Set aside some fun investment money. You should limit this to no more than 5% of your portfolio, and it should be the money that you can afford to lose. Be prepared to lose 100% of them. It's recommended to choose and stick to a predetermined limit so you can determine when you will walk away. Mistakes are a very important part of investment process. Knowing what they are when you are committing them and how to avoid them will help you succeed as an investor. To avoid committing the mistakes above, develop a thoughtful, systematic plan and stick with it. If you want to do something risky, set aside some fun money and play with it. I believe following these guidelines, you will do well in building your portfolio, which will bring many happy returns over the long term. Drop a comment if you ever made any of the mistakes above and what you are doing to avoid them. I read all of the comments and really like replying them. Hear more other videos about personal finance and investments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, destroy the like button and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video. Destroy the like button.